We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Three down.
Now it's gone. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. An aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate, but that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Strong right.
Winston on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very first play of the game.
They certainly do, and what I enjoyed was watching him on the sidelines, because as the defense came off, he was there to congratulate him.
It got his man complete. The 30, past the 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Devin Funchess, 96 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 29, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down, Baltimore.
Ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
A run for Nick Chubb. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Keep it up, guys.
Jameis to throw it. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
6-man.
Chubb. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Oh, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
And the Raven first down.
Ready. White 25. Check. 59. Okay, double up.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
59. Your track.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. J.J. Watt in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Out there now, the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. and this one a 41-yard attempt. Tavecchio puts this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
After the field goal, here's Tavecchio to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Hey, kill!
Goff now looks to throw. He's going to look deep down the field, and this will be caught at the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Gone. He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Funches with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A try here for the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be taken very short. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
82 is mine. I got 82. 82 is mine. Ready. Black 25 behind. Mike is 59. Mike to 50. Sunday. You go. Let him go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now Winston. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. Way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Record. Hold on.
The carry here for the big tight end. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Josh Oliver, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's 21-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On the carry, it's Chubb.
I got you, boy.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
I'm coming. Check. Crunch.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb.
Just run, fella, just run.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Here we go.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Winston. He's going to sling this, and this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mike, you don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Ric Flair. You don't want me. Check 37. Check 37. Check 31. Check 31.
Boston Scott, his first carry. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Oh, yeah.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On 2nd down, here's Goff.
Let's go.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Goff. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Vecchio to add the PAT. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Go, Todd! 180!
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
And search a redemption from the pick 6. Gone. That is caught at the 7. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight.
This is Geis. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Well, we know it's a tough mission for this defense to hold them to a field goal after that long kick return, but they're one play away from doing it.
They certainly are very close to accomplishing what they needed to get done because they treated this like a sudden change. You know, when the offense turns the ball over on a fumble or an interception, before you go out, you get together as a defense to go, sudden change, keep your poise, be ready to go. That's exactly what this group has done.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Run.
Here's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. JPP cruising in for the sack that time. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. Wait. Green, 17.
59 is Mike. 59. Echo. 59.
Winston now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Humphries now to return.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Out of the gun. Gone. It's caught by Funchess. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Goff now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a first and 10. From the red zone now, Goff. Dancing to his left. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Incomplete on the throwaway. Brings up second and 10 at the 20-yard line.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20.
Single. I got a single on the slot.
Goff throwing again. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. extra point attempt here still to come. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Final play of the half here, Winston. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Drop deep, drop deep.
From the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Winston. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Working out of the gun, Winston. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Goff. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Back to throw. Goff. And that will be incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the curl.
To throw is Winston. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Winston. Forced out to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game, because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Watch the screen.
And again, it's Chubb. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Get ready. Get ready.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to come from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Here's Geis. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. Able to find his running back, Geis. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw is gone. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Goff on first down. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Check.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal.
Shell.
Goff now looking to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Good job, fellas.
Brings up second and goal at the 8-yard line.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Now Goff. Steps away to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kyler Fackrell, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. They run with Geis. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal.
Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where I came from.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. They put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down, Winston. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Goff escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
I got you. You're all mine.
Hey, kill.
You're all mine.
Shoot. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet turbo.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down.
Here we go.
So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Winston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
180.
52's the mic. Get ready.
Now you won. Turbo set.
Now a first down throw. Gone. And that's incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Second down a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Tonight, white 20.
Here we go, G. Watch twist. Watch twist.
DC.
Third down, here's Geis. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play that was going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. J.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Boy, not deterred from those first two failed attempts. They're going to go a third time here on fourth down. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin first and goal already at the 5-yard line. Throwing now, Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's when the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Christian Kirk, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And Winston lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.